What is up, everybody, from our AT&T 5G virtual studio? Welcome on into Group Chat presented by AT&T 5G. I'm Susannah Collins. That is Stephen Keel. How you doing on this Friday, sir?
Feeling fantastic. Susannah, with the midweek games this week, it feels like we've had MLS games every day, which is
I know.
awesome. And then we got MLS games all weekend long. Life is good.
Life is dandy. All right, let's talk about some of those midweek
Yes.
games, okay? Because the Wednesday night MLS action was straight up fire,
Yeah.
okay? And I'm looking at a couple games in particular. We've got to talk about that Nashville Toronto match at Nissan
Woo.
Stadium. This one was bananas, okay? TFC were up 2-1 late in the game, but one of their 2020 Super Draft picks, okay? Luke Hawkinson.
Yes.
Luke Hawkinson. Remember this kid's name,
Yeah.
okay? Remember this kid's name because he scored 2 goals, one in the 83rd minute, one in the 92nd minute
Yeah.
to give Nashville the 3-2 win. Those were his first 2 MLS goals, and their first goal of the game was from Jack Maher, who is another 2020 Super Draft pick for them. So this was all about the youngins today for Nashville. Just a huge win for them. That stadium, did you hear that stadium?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Electric.
It was awesome. It was so great. I love a win like that for a team like Nashville, who's, they're still kind of trying to make a statement in the league. And when it's coming, when those results are coming at the hands of the young kids,
Let's get it.
Let's go. Let's go. TFC though.
Yeah. Tough spot.
Ooh.
I think they're winless in their last 5.
Yeah.
They're not getting the results. I think even Chris Mavinga kind of sent out a tweet that kind of summed it up that the results aren't coming. The team's been basically in a hotel for 3 months, away from their families, out of their homes and stuff, which is just incredibly tough. So it's a tough situation for Toronto, for all the Canadian teams still not back in their home. But going back to Nashville, and Jack Maher, he had just recently been recalled from his loan with the San Diego Loyal. His first game back, he gets to start. He bangs in his first MLS goal, and then obviously we saw what happened later in the game with Luke Hawkinson. But talk about feelings. And you see the celebration in front of the supporters. Luke just, big, is coming hard with the pose and everything. Gary Smith obviously is going to be happy with the result, but I think it just seems like almost every game it's like Nashville is behind, and then they mount some sort of comeback to either to salvage a point, or in this case, get all 3 points. So I think he would much prefer that maybe they just jump out to a lead and then just kind of hold on to it that way instead of having these dramatic comebacks. But as a viewer, as a spectator, I'm like, yo, I am here for these late stoppage time winners.
Absolutely. Also, I think that ability to come from behind, which they have shown that they can do on multiple occasions this season, is a really good sign of the character of this team. That sort of never give up. We're never out of it. And I just feel like that bodes well. That ability to know that they can dig in and come up big in the waning minutes of a match is a really good sign. And it's fun to watch, man. I've been loving watching Nashville this season.
I feel like their fans might be like, I can't take it anymore,
City.
But for you and other kind of more neutral viewers, we're like, yo, give us more.
I know. Oh, it's so great. So great. So well done, Nashville. TFC, I don't think it's really, I don't know if it's fair to kind of judge them on these games the first half of the season because of everything that they're dealing with. They are so far away from home. Chris Armas in his first year on the job, and then there's the Josie Altidore stuff that's still going on. It's just, there's a lot going on. I feel like there's still enough time for them to kind of get their footing, turn things around, but it's not good. Not good right now.
It's tough and injuries. Look, we're missing Pozuelo for a good portion of the first part of the season. He was in this game. He came out, looked like I think the reports is hamstring tightness. Hopefully was just tightened. It was precautionary. But you can see when he's on the field how important he is to that team. But like you said, it's a tough stretch right now for TFC.
Absolutely. All right, let's move it along to another great match, and that was Vancouver against the LA Galaxy. Okay, we saw Chicharito score his 8th goal of the season. This guy is on fire.
Yeah.
So that put the Galaxy up 1-0 just after halftime. And you thought that maybe this was going to go the Galaxy's way. And then Genio Biquel equalizes.
Yes.
And then a minute later, literally, Efrain Alvarez, the young kid for the Galaxy, he scores the game winner. And, just these late game heroics coming from the young guns.
Love it.
And I love it, Keel.
I love so much about this. I love Chicharito's first goal. Just everything about it. The way that LA presses, they get the turnover in Vancouver's halves. One touch passing. Chicharito does what he does best. Great run, finishes it. And then obviously you have the late goal from Efra. This fantastic finish, by the way. But what's most impressive, I think, about this is every time the Galaxy has had a loss, the very next game they've rebounded with a win. So they're never having consecutive losses, which is the sign of a good team. So big 3 points for Greg Vanney's squad. For Vancouver, the second game in a row where they've had at least, it was tied going into stoppage time. Earlier the week, they lost to Salt Lake, gave up 2 stoppage time goals there, and then this one against the Galaxy. So for Vancouver, it's gut-wrenching, those losses, to give up the goals late in the games where you think you're so close to at least having a point to come away. But again, good result for the Galaxy and some great goals for sure.
All right, let's move it along to some of the big stories. We got some big standout stories.
Yes, we do.
MLS. Stephen Keel starting with, and this one was huge, the New York Red Bulls have transferred Caden Clark to RB Leipzig. Okay,
Yes.
that was announced on Thursday. He's 18 years old. He's going to stay with the Red Bulls for the duration of the 2021 season, but then he will spread his wings, following in the steps of Tyler Adams, really.
Yes.
Okay. But this guy, he's going to be coached by Jesse Marsh. He has 6 goals and 2 assists in 15 MLS games. Okay. Like since this guy sort of came on and got the first team call up, he's just been absolutely spectacular. He's such a special player to watch at such a young age. And it's the little things that he does, Keel. We've seen his incredible ability to finish, but it's his knowledge of the game, the way he just reads the defense. He takes these passes. It's the quick little turns. I mean, he's just so good. I am not surprised at all that this was announced. I think we were just kind of like, okay, it's only a matter of time. But it's just going to be so much fun to watch yet another young American doing their thing over in Europe. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Like you said, he burst on the scene last year and hasn't looked back since. So I think everyone kind of expected it wasn't a matter, it was just a matter of when it was going to happen. And now the announcement's made. So he's going to go over, play under Jesse Marsh, who I just fully expect to continue his development and upward trajectory. And I think Red Bull fans, and rightfully so, are disappointed. I think so. Personally, you take one of their, probably arguably one of their best players, young player, and now he's leaving the team. You got to feel a little bit like, So I think the terms of the deal have yet to be released, so they'll see what they get in return. But I think you take a broader step and look at the situation as a whole, it just confirms where Major League Soccer is. It's a player in the global stage, right? So young MLS is buying young, talented, sought-after players. Brenner, Talismango for NYCFC, but they're also selling young, talented players. You mentioned Tyler Adams, Alphonso Davies, Brendan Aronson. So MLS is involved in the world stage, selling players, buying players, and ultimately this move for Caden, I think is good for him. I think it's good for the league, and I think it's good for the U.S. men's national team, who I fully expect him to have a bright future with Greg Berhalter's team in the very, very near future as well. So overall, good job, Caden. Congrats and best of luck. But we're gonna enjoy him for the rest of the season, right? He's not leaving just yet.
No, he's not. Yeah, no,
right?
we've got plenty of Caden Clark to enjoy for the rest of 2021. But yeah, I mean, I get the sort of disappointment from Red Bull fans because you want to watch your guy.
Sure.
However, I feel like we need to just completely change this mentality and realize that this is a good thing. This is a good thing for MLS and soccer in the United States in general. Okay.
Yep.
Anytime a young player like this has a chance at a big club in Europe, it's really a wonderful development for the sport here. So
Yeah, that's right. He's
keeping it positive,
straight to the Bundesliga. I mean,
keeping it positive.
yeah, that's great. So good job,
Love it.
Caden.
Okay. This one just makes my heart
Mm-hmm.
happy. As most of you know, I am a Chicago gal through
Yes.
and through. And while the Chicago Fire have not been terribly fun to watch on the pitch this
Mm-hmm.
year, something cool happened. Okay. They did a rebrand. And we know that these can be very polarizing. They had undergone another rebrand 2 years ago that I'm just going to say was not received quite so well. But
Right.
Keel, I
Yes.
am so here for this one. I am
Okay.
so here for this one for
Yeah.
many reasons. Number one, it just looks sharp. Okay. This is
Yes.
another design by Matt Wolf, who is incredibly talented. He is the guy behind LAFC's badge, Minnesota. I mean, this guy he knows what he's doing. Okay. When it comes to aesthetics. But what is so cool is that they really dove into fan input to
Mm-hmm.
get this, because they understood that the Fire supporters weren't really happy with the last one. So they polled their supporters. There was over 225,000 words written via website submission. So these fans got after it.
Yeah.
500 plus hours of time, from roundtables, 10,000 fan responses on social media, and that badge is essentially what they came up with, which I love because it's an homage to the Chicago flag, which I think is one of the coolest city flags I've ever seen. Obviously, I'm biased, but the colors, that light blue
Yes.
and the red,
Yes.
it
Yes.
pops. It's, there's a synergy there between the Red Stars as well. It's got the pointed notch on the back of the C, and the use of the Florian cross, which is great because that's an homage to the previous
Mm-hmm.
badge. And it's just, I don't know, it's just cool.
Yeah.
It's just a cool, sharp, sleek looking. It's very Chicago. I'm super happy with it. And I think that I feel like Chicago Fire fans should feel really good about this one. The other thing too, there were these secondary badges that Matt Wolf created, and I love this story.
Yes. That's awesome.
So Patrick Stanton is a die-hard Chicago Fire supporter. I actually did a piece with him, I think my first season in MLS. We had a series called Get Me In There, which was so fun. And I went to a Chicago Fire match with Patrick Stanton and a bunch of the supporters. And he's got this tattoo, this fire tattoo on his arm. That's unique. It was like, the sort of inspired by the flag, but then it said fire in that sort of cool, like,
Right.
font. And Matt Wolf channeled that tattoo into one of the
Awesome.
designs of the secondary badge, which is just, I mean, it's literally coming directly from a supporter. And
Yeah.
I think in soccer, like, that is what it's all about. Soccer here, it is about the fans. And I just thought it was such a cool tribute and homage to, that the hardcore Chicago Fire supporters. And again, I just think that they should feel really good about this.
I couldn't agree more. And like you said, we see the power of fans and supporters and the influence they can have in decisions like this. And I think you listen to the Chicago front office speaking, Matt Wolf as well. And I think what they wanted to create was something that an image that no one will ever want to change. I think
Mhm.
they said that this mark should outlive us all. So I have to ask you, as you stated earlier, you are a Chicagoan. I believe that's
Yeah.
the correct terminology. As a Chicagoan, as kind of this being your hometown team, do you think this is the mark? This is the logo, the graphic that will outlive us and be the graphic for the mark for Chicago Fire for a very long time?
I hope so. I
Yeah,
really hope so, because I think that it's so mindful. It's a very purposeful crest. A lot of thought went
right.
in behind it. There's symbolism there. It honors the past. But it's also very sleek and modern, and kind of, it's one that I think can evolve over different generations. And so I hope so, because Chicago we have so many iconic sports team logos, right?
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
Cubs fan, like the big C, the Bears. Like, I mean, it's just like these are very, very iconic symbols. And I feel like this is one that's going to stand the test of time. I hope so. I'm already like, I was like, when did these go on sale? When can I buy some
Right.
swag?
It,
Because I
it,
want
it
it.
and it's also like it's like when you watch a game and you see a player out there and you're just like that player is really good. It's like
Hmm.
when you see a logo, you're like that logo is really cool. And I
Hmm.
think this Chicago logo, I think again, like you said, Matt Wolf, Chicago Fire, they knocked it out of the park with this one. So I agree. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get on some of that gear. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I know.
Right?
I've been like, I keep liking all their tweets
Yeah.
and like saying how much I love it. Kind of like
Hey
nudge,
guys,
nudge,
over
wink,
here.
wink, hook your girl up. What's up? I'm here. I will rock that. I will rock
Size
that for
large.
you.
Size large.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Give me all the swag. Alas, I think they're going to give out some badges at the first game, though. The
Love it.
swag's going to come later this season.
Okay.
They're still making that, but I
Right.
think they're going to give out some of the badges with the new crest on it, which is super cool. So maybe I can snag one of those. Who knows? We'll
Love it.
see. We'll see. I'll be checking the mail. Chicago Fire. Anywho, some very positive news in the EMLS world, buddy, which we
Yes.
both know and love.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, Agate Power from
Mhm.
Vancouver, who is the new EMLS signing for the Vancouver Whitecaps, and King CJ, who represents DC United. They are both advancing to the World Cup
Let's
in
go. Come on.
London.
Let's
Let's
go.
go. CJ is such a doll. Okay? Like he is one of the nicest
Right.
kids I have ever met. And he came so close this year
Mhm.
in some of the EMLS tournaments and just would come up he was going up against Diddy Chris, who was just on fire this season. But
Right.
King CJ he's so good. He's so good. I don't know our Vancouver guy yet, but I'm hoping to get to know them. But I love that they're both representing MLS on this global stage. It's very, very cool. So
Yes.
good luck to those two.
Well, like you said, Agate Power just signed with Vancouver
Hmm.
June 14th. So literally within 7 days, signed a pro contract with the Vancouver Whitecaps. And then, oh, by the way, advanced to the E World Cup. So he's having a
Yes.
pretty decent week. And King CJ actually, he was victorious in the North American qualifiers, beating Agate Power in an epic PK shootout. So congratulations to him. But yeah, they go to London, E World Cup,
Big time.
$500,000 prize pool. Like $500,000 is up for grabs. So that's ridiculous. And also the title of best player in EA Sports FIFA 21, which that in itself is pretty awesome. So
It's pretty cool.
we love when our guys, biggest stage, brightest
I
lights.
know. I
Best of
know.
luck to both of them. I can't wait to watch. And listen, I mean, how cool would that be? One of our EMLS players
I
won the E
know.
World Cup. That would be very, very cool. So good luck.
I
Congratulations on
know.
making this far. And I'm excited to watch them.
Me too. You love to see it. All right, Keel.
Yeah.
We got some rivalry games
Oh yeah, we
to
do.
look forward
Oh
to
yeah, we do.
this weekend, baby. And we got another edition of the Cali Classico on tap. Okay. Okay. That
Mhm.
is on Saturday, 10 p.m. on Unimas 2DNA Twitter and DAZN. Now, I remember a conversation that we had with Gordo ahead of the first installment back in May. That
Yes.
guy, that was one of my favorite interviews
Yes.
we've ever
Yes.
done. So great. The Galaxy got the better of that one. They won 1-0. San Jose has
Tough
ooh,
spell. Tough
it's
spell as well.
been it's been a
Tough spell.
little rough. But perhaps they're in San Jose for this one. They
Mhm.
can kind of channel all those supporters and
Yeah.
get a good result. But yeah, the Galaxy have been playing really, really well. So this one, I don't know, this matchup, we talked about it back in May, but this matchup always seems to deliver.
It
There's always just some crazy dramatic moments. So hopefully this one will be no different.
and I think it will. I think you look at the Galaxy, obviously we talked about their 2-1 win earlier. Chicharito just being in great form, tied for the Golden Boot. But on the other end, Jonathan Bond in goal from him has been
Oh my gosh.
spectacular,
Woo.
right? Like every game he's coming up with key big saves. What you like to see. But I think also important is is I think this team, you look at the result in Vancouver, the late, they give up the equalizer in stoppage time, but they find the winner. I don't
Mhm.
know if in a couple years ago they would have been able to find that. I believe that this team has a
Yeah.
new belief under Greg Vanney, a new fight that you can see that every game they just give it all, they leave it all on the field, and there's a belief in a way that they're gonna find ways to pick up the win. So right now, all things are positive in LA. San Jose, a little bit different. Just desperate for a win. They've lost 5 out of 6. They're coming off a bad 5-0 loss
Oh,
in
yeah.
Orlando.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but glad
No,
you did.
yeah, but it's just one of those. But I think what you said is these rivalry games, anything can happen, and sometimes you need these games, these big matches, to kind of get things rolling back at
Yeah.
positive in your fashion. They'll be back at PayPal Park. It's be open full capacity for the first time since 2020. So you hope that energy can, and
Ugh.
if you're a San Jose Earthquake fan, that the energy inspires your team. And a big result like this against your rival can
Mhm.
jumpstart the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything can happen in
That's it.
MLS, Keel.
That's it. And especially
We
these
know
games,
this.
especially in the Cali Classico. Are you kidding me? Like
We
it's
know
like
this.
something crazy is gonna happen. I don't know what it is, but you have to watch.
Exactly. Again, that game, 10 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Unimas, TUDN, Twitter, and DAZN. Oh boy, we got
Mhm.
another rivalry matchup to look forward to. This one, tonight.
Let's go.
Tonight, Friday night. What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. It's a little Miami taking on Orlando, 8 p.m. Eastern, FS1, Fox Deportes, and DAZN. Okay. Now, as you mentioned, Orlando, whew, they did a number
Flying.
on San Jose. They are flying. I'm so happy. Like I have been on the Orlando train since the
Yes.
MLS's back tournament last year, and I am just so in love with what Oscar Pareja has done with this team. They are playing magnificently. Daryl DK is back. We're going to talk about him in just a little bit. But I don't want to talk about necessarily the product on the field right now, Keel, because there's another
Okay.
issue at hand with this, and that is, what do we call this rivalry? Okay. I don't think it has firmly been established yet, like a name in the way that like El Trafico sort of just took off and that everyone adopted it and that sort of became the name of that rivalry. So
Right.
there have been a few options
Yeah.
that have kind of circulated.
Yes.
People,
Sure.
the Sunshine Showdown, cute,
Mhm.
I love an alliteration. The Everglades Derby, Classico del Sol, which is kind of catchy.
Kind of rolls.
But I was doing some research and I found my winner. And I can take no credit for this, okay? Michael Citro
Yeah.
writes for the blog Mainland for SB Nation, okay? It's
Okay.
the Orlando City blog page for SB Nation. And last year he wrote an article and he dubbed this rivalry Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. So
I could not be more here for it. Like done. Done. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's whimsical. It's appropriate because we all know that the weather
Mm.
in Florida is very changeable, and you get some monster
Be
thunderstorms at
dicey.
a,
Yep.
a, a
Oh yeah.
moment's notice.
Oh yeah.
It's just the tropics. I don't know. I'm gonna try to make this happen. I'm gonna
Tropic.
try to make Tropic Thunder happen. I don't know how much steam we have behind it, but I feel like we can start it here.
Listen,
Michael Citro, you're a genius. I love it.
I'm here for that as well. I came up with one not quite as clever as with that, so I might have to take my. I was thinking, what if we called it the Sun Bowl? And here's my reasoning: because is it the most clever? No, but back in the day, there was a youth soccer tournament, albeit in Tampa, during over the December holidays.
Okay.
Big Sun Bowl. It's a big one of the biggest tournaments of youth soccer, and teams always used to go. And it was a big thing. So maybe this is a way, a little ode to the past,
I love it.
while still kind of keeping that. Or you know what? We can just say that's lame. Let's call it Tropic Thunder, which is probably easier.
I mean, I like Tropic Thunder better.
I'm
Not to
not. I'm not
just rain
selling
on
you.
your parade
I
here.
know. Yeah, I got my. I could wear
Well,
like my.
here's the thing though. Whenever I hear the term bowl, I immediately equate it to college football.
And I believe there is an actual Sun Bowl in
So
college football.
that gets a little confusing, I think. So
Yeah.
I feel like this is MLS. Let's get weird. Let's get fun.
Especially on the
Tropic
show.
Thunder.
Listen, we'll start hashtagging that. Let's get it out there. Let's
I
start
know.
hashtagging it before the game. Tropic Thunder.
We
I
gotta
love
make
it.
it happen. We gotta
Love
make
it.
it happen. Okay. So we hit on Orlando
Yes.
a little bit, but we got to talk about Daryl DK, which leads us to our next segment, 22 under 22, presented by Body Armor Stock Watch Player Spotlight. Daryl DK.
Yep.
Okay. Back with Orlando after a hugely successful stint in the
Very.
championship in England with Barnsley. He got the U.S. men's national team call up. He scored a brace in
Yeah.
that 5-0 win over San Jose. And he is a guy, Keel, who he gets better
Yeah.
every time he takes the pitch. And that is something that he is super mindful of.
Right.
He did an interview where he said, like, this is my goal in training. Anytime I leave, like when he left for Barnsley, when he gets the U.S. men's national team call up, he wants to come back better than he was before. And boy, has he delivered on that goal. It has just been, his rise has been so spectacular.
Yeah.
Absolutely spectacular. So when we talk about the ways in which he has improved his game, obviously the finishing is like the obvious one.
Right.
But for you, Keel, where have you seen him grow in terms of his level and play? Where has the improvement been?
It seems all levels, but I think for me specifically, and he's been mindful, is his movement and his ability to find and create space. I remember watching him when he was at the University of Virginia in the College Cup in 2019. I think he scored 2 goals against my Wake Forest Demon Deacons in the semifinals and went on in the finals to score before falling to Georgetown. Then his rookie year came on, scored more goals. Goes to Barnsley, scores goals, comes back game with the U.S., scores a goal, and then he comes back to Orlando. He just continues to score goals. But I think, when you look at him, obviously, yes, he's got the physical attributes. He's big, he's strong. But I think you watch his movement and the way he does it, it's getting better and better. And the first goal, his first goal with the Orlando this weekend, it's a perfect example. Is he makes a hard darting run diagonal that shows Nani exactly where he wants the ball. Nani does a great job, slips him in. And then he has the composure and technique to take the touch around the goalkeeper and finish it. So I think it's that ability that he's able to create his own space to set up his goals is where I've really seen a lot of improvement. But even the best thing about guys like this is not only are they great players on the field, but when you speak with them and you hear his teammates speak about him, he's just an awesome guy, right? He's very just a very nice individual. He wants to do the right thing. He goes about doing the things the right way. So it's just a player you just can't help but be like, go conquer the world, my friend. So Daryl DK, I mean, the ceiling on this guy is through the roof. And just, the sky's the limit essentially. So big things ahead for this man.
Love it. You love to see it. Okay. Got another rivalry match to discuss.
Yes.
Keel. And this is just a good old-fashioned Cascadia Cup rivalry between Seattle and Vancouver. That is on Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus and TSN in Canada. Okay. Seattle, they're real good. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what are you saying? What are you saying? Yeah. What are you saying?
So we had Brian Schmetzer on the call-up this past week, which if you haven't, please go watch this episode because I feel like you're going to see a different side of Schmetz. We played Never Have I Ever with Schmetzer. Okay. So I'm just saying and the guy, he's
amazing.
He is, he's so unique. He's such a unique coach and the players love to play for this guy. They love to play for this guy. And it is because, and we talked to him about this in the interview, his whole mantra is that all he wants to do is put players in the best position to succeed. So he bases it off of where they are comfortable, where their strengths are. And that formula in itself, I think, is a huge reason why Seattle has had this sustained success.
Yes.
Right? Especially with him at the helm ever since he took over in 2016. But he has such a cerebral approach to the game. But I don't think we weren't quite sure what Seattle was going to look like this year, especially when Jordan Morris goes down with the injury. Nico Ladero is missing for a good a chunk of that, but
Yeah.
they didn't skip a beat. They didn't skip
No.
a beat.
No.
And
Yes.
I'm just saying, I think that the players just, they know their role on the team. They're comfortable.
Mhm.
And that is because of Brian Schmetzer and the positions that he puts them in. And so I can't say enough. I feel he doesn't get enough credit, and I'm just going to say it.
I think I agree, and I spent a little time in my first years. I was on loan with Seattle, and Brian Schmetzer was a coach, so I've played for him. And everything you say is true. He puts guys in the best position to succeed. Guys want to go out there and play for him. They want to fight for him, and it's evident in the teams that he's coached. And like you said, why Seattle's been good year after year, and this year in particular, I don't think everyone expected Seattle to take a step back. And if anything, they've taken a step forward. We're so used to Seattle starting slow, coming on the end, and making a run. They're off to their best start in franchise history. 10 games. They have yet to lose a game. And for me, one of the most intriguing stats is they have yet to concede a goal through the run of play, which is mind-boggling. They've played 10 games in MLS and have yet to concede a goal through the run of play. And that's just a credit to obviously the players and the job, but to the coaching staff and setting up the team and organizing them in a way. Because like you said, no Jordan Morris at all this season. They've had Nico Odero for about a half hour this season.
Yeah.
Stephen Fry goes out. Nuhu's missing. So they have all these injuries and missing players, and yet they just continue to find ways to get wins and results. And we said they're good because you're running out of words to describe this team.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
I know.
I honestly think we're witnessing something at the end of the season. I think we'll look back and say, obviously this team is special, but I think they're going to be special in a way we haven't seen.
Absolutely. If Seattle continue on this run, if they do end up finishing at the top of the Western Conference, going on a playoff run, if Brian Schmetzer is not in the running for Coach of the Year, I will protest.
Yes.
I just will.
Yes.
P.S. Also found out, just fun little nugget, he has a burner account that he uses to follow his players, and I about died. And he
awesome.
and he said, he was like, yeah, you got to keep an eye on Nuhu. You don't know. I almost died. I really almost died. I was like, I believe that. Nuhu is a bit of a wild card, like gotta keep tabs.
Gotta keep an eye. I mean, listen, how many? I feel like, what would percentage? Do you think over half the coaches in MLS have burner accounts?
I
they got to.
They have to, right? I mean, come on. That was just such a fun little discovery that we made about Brian Schmetzer. On Vancouver's side, and what do they need to do, Keel? Because they've got a talented roster. Like, I like Mark Dos Santos. It's just not coming together.
It's tough, and I think we talked about San Jose going through a rough spot, Toronto and Vancouver same way. I believe they've lost 5 games in a row. The results haven't been there, but you watch these games, it's not like they're getting outplayed. They're just getting run off the park, and that's not the case at all. They're actually at times playing some very attractive, good soccer. It's just, you look at these last 2 games, they're 1-1 in the 90th minute. And then, suddenly they drop both games. So, all you can do with these games is you look forward. You think going into Seattle, a team that hasn't lost all season, is going to be a tall task. But it's these games, and if they can get a positive result when no one believes they can, these are the games that can kind of turn your season around and put them in good form. So, because like you said, Mark Dos Santos, I think he's done a good job there.
Yeah.
It's just, the results just haven't gone their way.
Well, let's see. Maybe they'll get a stroke of luck against Seattle on Saturday. All right. Well, guys, we have a pretty outstanding slate of matches for you guys to look forward to. Kicking off tonight, as we mentioned, Miami taking on Orlando. Tropic Thunder, thank you very much. 8 p.m. Eastern.
Let's get it going.
Tropic Thunder. And then on Saturday, this is going to be fun. We have SKC taking on LAFC. SKC have been really good, and LAFC they're not having a bad season. Well, maybe in their eyes they're having a bad season, but they're not where we thought they might be. But Carlos Vela is back and scoring goals. But that game, Saturday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. We also have that LA, what do we have? San Jose, LA, El Clasico coming your way. That's going to be a heck of a match. That is on Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Unimas Estudiantes Twitter. And then we've got Atlanta taking on the Red Bulls. Okay. That is 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday on MLS Live on ESPN Plus. So we've got some great matches for y'all. Make sure you watch them.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you? Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. I feel like Tropic Thunder is going to deliver in so many ways, more than people can probably expect.
And you know what? When it takes off, Keel.
Right here. Well, technically, we may not have created.
Michael Citro. All credit goes to you, but we are your amplifiers.
Yes,
you know?
we are your microphone. We are your microphone.
We are here for you, and we're going to make this happen. But yeah, that's it. That's all we got.
Tropic Thunder.
Thank you for watching. Have a fabulous weekend. Enjoy all the soccer, and we'll see you back here next week. Bebe.
See ya. Yeah.